Oh, how about now? You guys, there's this little button over here. If there's a big red line through the microphone, you can press it and the line goes away. Oh, Jesus, that's loud. Okay, well.
Oh, that means David Bourne didn't hear all that shit I was talking.
Yes. You want me to tell him what you were saying? You want to say that shit to his face, huh? Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I would. Thank you. Okay, guys. So, let's go back to this that you didn't get to see. Tomorrow, starting...
Always, John, it takes about 5 minutes to catch up.
Hey, this isn't the Robert Chase show, buddy.
Yeah. Robert Chase is here?
Might as well be. His students are.
Listen, that man admires you.
Well, I don't know if he admires me, but...
Talk about your case.
I mean, actually, I would like to say I do like Robert Chase, but I can only handle Mensa people in small doses. So, here's a calendar for Judge Daniel Domenico, and you can see that I'm docketed for 3 days of the court's time. I thought my lawyer told me to clear the whole week, so I have asserted some congestion problems in other courts on the 3rd that I'm kind of bothered about because I misrepresented it. But this is the first jury trial for Judge Daniel Domenico. He was recently appointed by President Trump after the sudden death of my previous judge, Wiley Daniel, who was very experienced on First Amendment issues and kind of favorable towards him. So, I don't know which way to go. You don't really have a history with Domenico yet. Yeah. Here's what I do know about the outcome of this case, by the way. I've already won the case. And the jury must award me at least $1. There are thresholds. I have to make I have to get a $10,000 damages award, or else I have to pay the costs of the other side, which means like the deposition costs, things like that, and that could rack up to over $10,000. But at least I won't have to pay their attorney's fees because they actually admitted fault with a partial admission of fault with an offer of judgment. So when they make an offer of judgment and you decline it, then and take it to trial, then you have to get at least that much in order to be immune from the fees. So if the jury awards me less than the amount that I have to pay for the costs, that could suck for me. This case is 5 years old, you guys, and it stems from when I was drug out of the city council meeting for trying to talk about police brutality.
Isn't that when you told them that it would be in their best interest to not interrupt you?
I said it would be in your best interest for me to finish my speech, yeah. Yeah, so he said, you've got 5 minutes, that's it.
That's the one where they removed you. They told you weren't under arrest, but as soon as you got in the hallway...
No, I was pretty sure I was under arrest. Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, do you want to go see that video? Let's go there.
Why not trust me?
Yeah, or all the people that are around the house here that are watching it, eating up all the pictures, could just come into the studio and watch it live.
No, I gotta use up the bandwidth.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Eric Brandt. What's the link to my video? Oops. City Council. Mayor. Atchison arrest. I don't know how. I don't remember what I titled it, and I'm too tired to think. Oops. This fucking edge thing. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Someone throw me a bone here. Someone post the video. Here we go.
I would ask that you hold it until that public hearing. But at this time, we are open on the mic. We'd ask you if you come up, you have any items you want to discuss with us. Give us your name and address, and your comments are limited to 5 minutes.
When you look at the background, the people sitting in the chairs there, that's a troop of Boy Scouts that were there to receive an award for something that night. And it was really interesting to see the reactions of the people in that crowd because the kids were completely confused and didn't know what to do. So they're constantly looking at their mom and then their dad, and then their mom and then their dad. And the moms, the women were all looking for exits. It was very clear they were looking for how to get out. And the men were all looking between the mayor and the cop, mayor, cop, me, and like they're ready for the fight, right? You could tell who builds a society and who tears it down. Right? The men are always willing to go to fisticuffs, and the women always want to get their kids out alive. Fucking stupid men.
Good evening. My name is Eric Brandt. My speech is a little bit longer than 5 minutes. I have one person who's going to give up their 5-minute period for me to finish my speech.
Sir, you get 5 minutes and that's it. No one gives up time for you, so you have 5 minutes.
I would argue that it is in your best interest for me to finish my speech.
Sir, I'm telling you, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
So go ahead with your comments.
For everyone who may not recognize me, I am Eric Brandt. I'm addressing you tonight not merely to put a face to a name already well recognized, but to introduce a person who, like each of you here, has elected to be an active participant in a system that we believe in. Our system works, and it works well. We have inherited an imperfect system of government by the people, which necessarily works best when the people find cause to invest themselves within. We each serve and nourish our free society through distinct, varied, and essential functions. Our calls to duty are rarely founded in the pleasure of the task before us, but rather founded in the hope that our actions, however unpleasant we may find them, will be judged as keeping with the highest traditions of advancing towards our published ideals of liberty and justice for all. I have protested with the infamous middle finger for only 31 actual days. Not everyone approves of the language or gesture, but those in opposition are dwarfed by the literally thousands of people who have nodded, smiled, cheered, and sometimes even flailed out their car windows in approval.
Mr. Brandt, let me ask you a question of where you're headed. Are you going to be saying anything at all connected with your pending lawsuit with the city of Westminster?
I would encourage you to not use up my 5 minutes.
Sir, I'm asking you a question. Now,
At least 2,000 people in the community
Mr.
have taken
Brandt,
time
I'm going to ask you once again.
and take a picture with me. The finger was virtually viral on Facebook in only 72 hours. Countless others could be seen in their cars, cameras in hand. Family members rarely heard from, and even some as far away as Connecticut reported that my picture made it across their computer screens. Even though I have...
So, one of the problems that I had with Westminster was they just wouldn't fucking listen. In September of 2013, I went to the mayor's office to try and talk to the mayor. I was wearing a watch that had a video camera in it that I spent a lot of money on because Westminster had already destroyed evidence for me. And I already didn't trust them. And I'm tired of these issues happening. Why are they stalking my house every day? And what's the fucking deal? What the fuck is wrong with these people, right? So I went, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to the mayor.
It never works.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I went to the mayor's office. I went upstairs. And I very politely said that I wanted to talk to the mayor. That's what it was about. I briefly told her what it was about. And she asked me to have a seat. And what you can see in the video as I'm sitting there with my arms on my lap is mostly Rusty and my feet. And then all of a sudden, all these cops pour in there. And they removed me from the building. There are two options. Walk out now, or you're going to go to jail. And I had to walk out. I had Rusty. That's a year prior to this incident.
Well, you just been fucking shit up for a while, huh?
Right? And so then they went in my house without a warrant and removed somebody. Then they told me they had no desire to fill in any blanks on what occurred. And they continued and continued and continued. And one day I fucking snapped. And I went to City Hall and filled in the blanks with chalk. And they kept arresting me. I carried that fuck cop sign for 6 blocks. And it was an instant sensation. Carried that sign for 30 days. Here's all they had. And it was already infamous. So this jackass that's about to arrest me was a known abuser. He's retired now. He's an absolute fucking jackass. Very mean person. Very abusive person. And I'm sorry that he retired and didn't die. But they gave him immunity. So he's coming down behind. These fuckers are not listening to me ever, at all, period. But one of the officers figured it out. He approached me a different way. Real respect. He was a Marine. Which means my ass rides on Navy equipment.
Man always riding in Navy equipment.
And in fact, he rode on submarines. He was deployed off of the USS Chicago. And so I put the sign down. I made a big thumb, big green thumbs up that said, "Thank you, Sergeant Esslinger." And nobody cheered. Nobody honked. Nobody took pictures. Nobody stopped to have a discussion with me. But what then did happen was that the chatter in the neighborhood became that they must have done something to me to silence me. They either paid him off or they trumped him up. They never were willing to pay me off on anything, ever. They were always willing to try and trump shit up. But I couldn't let my community believe that my speech had been silenced. But I didn't want to break down the relationship that I thought we were building. I wanted to move forward with my city as a participant in my government, as a partner. Because that's what community looks like. So I went to the council to deliver my speech, to let them know, here's a little bit of the relationship. And I don't want to lose respect here. Let's move forward respectfully, but I got to start carrying my sign a little bit again, because I can't let my community believe that you have silenced me. Am I? Why am I always buffering here? I'm on fucking goddamn. Who's watching? Who else watching?
I'm not.
Why can't I not do a live stream from this house ever? Every live stream from here is shit.
Is Netflix filming?
I'm on 5G Wi-Fi. What the fuck? Who has time for this shit? So anyway, when that mayor...
Just reset yourself.
I'm about to reset everybody. Reset
Yeah,
my
your phone.
So when that mayor told me that I can't talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, the fuck can't. And I don't give a fuck what he said. I was going to deliver that fucking speech or be drug out in handcuffs. I couldn't believe it.
So they married you for the next 5 years?
Oh, I could not believe that I was shut down at public comment. Because he was worried that I was going to talk about the police brutality lawsuit. Which, in fact, I wasn't. If you move that, Jonna, I'll lose my memory of it. I got to take care of it tonight before I go to bed.
Oh.
Yeah. So put it back, Jonna.
Put what back?
Put the bag back. It'll fuck up my memory. Thank you.
That's your shit.
So, let's watch this. This is how...
Not protested for 2 months, I am still cheered or recognized or
Mr.
questioned
Brandt,
in
I'm
the
going to
out
ask you again
community.
to stop your
The
testimony. We cannot
response has
hear
been
this with a pending
overwhelming,
lawsuit.
encouraging, and humbling. One local business owner stands out from the multitude. He came out and met me across the parking lot to say,
Mr.
when
Brandt,
I
I'm
saw a
asking
man
you to remove
carrying a
yourself
giant
from
middle
the stand.
finger with a 4-letter foul word across it, my first thought was, there goes a person in a lot of pain.
He can go outside or he can go outside the building, but at this point, his testimony, we cannot hear it with his pending lawsuit with the city.
He's asked you to leave. If you do not leave, you'll be under arrest for...
If I don't leave, I'll be arrested. You heard him say it.
When he did not like seeing the gesture, he understood my need and appreciated my right to do so. He was genuinely heartfelt and hopeful that I would find peace with this city.
No, it's not please. Get your hand off of me. They use what's called the pain compliance technique. They actually took pictures of my wrist. They were that fucked up.
You're under arrest.
Coming into the trial. Oh, yeah.
Kiss my happy ass.
Stop hurting my hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have stopped the gentleman's testimony because he is going into an area. He is currently in a lawsuit against the city, and his testimony we are not allowed to hear as long as it is an active case before us. So I hope you'll understand why we've asked him not to continue his testimony at this time. Is there anyone else that has any other items that they'd like to bring before?
So that's the trial tomorrow. Is that incident? We don't know what else is going to come in. The city's lawyers want to bring in my entire criminal history to say that I couldn't possibly have been traumatized by this event. Look, he goes to jail all the time. Herb still silences people's speech. He fights everything he can to stop you from saying what you have to say. As a matter of fact, I distinctly remember one night there were about 15 or 20 people there to speak. And the mayor said, tonight we're going to limit content speeches to 3 minutes because of the large number of people that are here to speak. Do you know how many hours I spent writing my 5-minute speech? Or my 8-minute speech? I spent a lot of time on that. You're supposed to be able to come here and air your grievances to your city council, your legislators. The people that can do something about it. You ought to be taken seriously.
Your public servants?
Yes.
If you will.
You don't run in there with a big fuck cops banner naked. I'd expect them to take you seriously. Although,
I could.
I'd expect them to take you seriously? I usually set the standard and throw the wrecking ball through the building first, and then we can rebuild from there. But, hey, this is our system. This is how this is supposed to work. And I just happen to be fucking stupid and wrote it several times. Because that's what people do. They get their 5 minutes and they want to make it good. So this one night, like 15 people were there to speak. A whole bunch of them were there to speak about this farmer's market they want to do. So each one of them had prepared a 5-minute speech about their part of the program. And they were to speak in succession and in order. Except the mayor picked their order. And he limited them to 3 minutes instead of 5. One councilman said, hey, Mr. Mayor, I object to that. These folks have been told that they get 5 minutes to speak. They've probably prepared 5-minute speeches. Most people take the full 5 minutes. They've been told they can have 5 minutes. I think we need to give them their time. And Herb said, it's my prerogative and I don't want to be here all night. Well, he shouldn't have taken the job.
Mm-hmm. Motherfucker should have punched out, gone home, and swallowed a bullet. Can we say that about mayors?
Wouldn't it have been nice if he'd have taken a couple of his officers out with him? So, I have a list. So, by my account, he owes those people 30 minutes of time. They prepared he took 2 minutes from their speech. That means he took way more than 2 minutes of their life away. Because his precious life was worth more than theirs. You're not a good person, Herb. You're a bad person.
I came all the way from Massachusetts to meet all these bad people out here.
Did you?
Like Guzman.
Ooh.
Herb's the next one.
We get to see Herb tomorrow.
I met Guzman.
Did Guzman like it?
Not at all.
You might get to meet Guzman tomorrow.
Guzman actually assaulted me.
That's right.
In a courthouse.
We need to get that fucking video,
we
damn
need
it.
to get that video because it was pretty good.
So, yeah, Guzman's son is in Westminster, He's a murderer cop, too.
Maybe he'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, probably not. But we could go up to Westminster School Resource Office at high school.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's where all this shit started. Oh. My first cop sign arrest was at that school. And guess what? The cop that arrested me there then,
Was Guzman?
the school resource officer, is one of the cops that has killed people now. Yeah. A lot of the cops that I've been involved with in Westminster have killed people. Drew Smith, Catalano, the list goes on and on. They're bad people.
Officer Dickey in Westminster?
No, Dickey was in Commerce City. Yeah. So,
we should go out there too.
This incident, the mayor hasn't learned from this incident. Janet can tell you, we've been to countless meetings where the mayor has silenced people's speeches in one way or another. He's not there to listen to you. Having to listen to you is just a bothersome part of his gentrification agenda. His money agenda. He don't give a fuck about your rights. He wants his precious Westminster Mall. Yep. Oh, yeah. The city bought the Westminster Mall and converted it into their new downtown area. And after like a decade of moving dirt from one side to the other, they're finally building. The same Westminster Mall in Bach versus Westminster Mall Company.
Bach?
Yes. If there's a government function annex on a private mall, then it is public for the purposes of free speech. Yeah. Thank God for the Jehovah's Witnesses. So, I'll end this. Let's take a look at the courthouse that we're going to be at tomorrow.
Quick, before you end it.
Oh, we're switch to screen view
No,
here.
yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Huh?
You can still do your thing. Just gonna say Jennifer Perkins is awesome.
Jennifer Perkins is kind of cool, huh?
Right?
Yeah, in fact, I talked about Jennifer Perkins today with my lawyer.
Did you?
Yeah, turns out, as a matter of fact, that same lawyer wants to look at your stuff tomorrow.
That's right.
That's right.
We're gonna make Denver.
Let's see this. I see. I can't. The OtterBox really helps the screen because it's touchy everywhere.
If you knew Eric Brandt, well, do you, punk?
And he's such a snowflake. I'm tired of snowflakes. I'm going to move to the Antarctic just so people will stop melting on me.
There's a lot of snowflakes up there.
That's not gonna happen.
It's not?
No, the Antarctica's melting.
Fuck.
Not only that, but the government has allowed anybody to go to Antarctica stinking dirty people.
Oh. Okay, this is the Alfred J. Araj Casino, courthouse, and we're there to protest Judge Burbank. I'm late as usual, and I thought it was supposed to be fuck Burbank. It was supposed to be fire Burbank. I got the wrong F-bomb.
I'm the female dog in the street.
This woman is here to try and file a lawsuit.
Property dagger.
They won't let her in the courthouse. They arrest her. She's there with all her worldly possessions in a fucking taxi cab.
I've been through so much and I got so that's some badass shit, buddy.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Oh yeah, here we go.
Truth be known, but
Judge, Officer
I'm
Jackson.
taking it inside, Pato.
Oh, you're not going inside.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You're gonna hurt
They're
me.
telling her she's not allowed to go inside.
You're gonna refuse me putting another lawsuit. You're gonna refuse for let me put another mistake, which I know I'm entitled to fight. You're gonna refuse that.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
hello, Mr. Jackson.
Last night.
Hey, you know you're defacing public property, right?
I'm sorry.
You're defacing public property. That's a city ordinance. You can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Only you
that's
can.
too fucking bad. No justice, no peace. Fuck this stupid ass federal police. I thought that might move you.
He protested.
I think I was fearless there. You
Protest.
What's the secret, Mr. Jackson?
You need to protest your shit. You protest.
I sure do.
Let me tell you a secret. Don't step into my bubble. Give me a reasonable amount of personal space. Show some fucking respect for your...
Protest for this real shit like protest.
So that's how you turn a nice quiet protest into a fucking loud belligerent protest. You get fucking stupid. You took an oath to uphold the law, and you chose that. You could have chosen to flip burgers. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. Put on your big girl britches. Mr. Jackson says that chalk is defacing public property, and there's an ordinance for that. Yeah, let's start arresting 6-year-olds. I demand their immediate incarceration.
And I've called 911 many times for it, and they've never done it.
Yeah.
The problem that they have is that the Denver police own the sidewalk. They don't have jurisdiction out there. They're trying to figure out how to get this done. They had to call DPD.
Jasmine shouldn't have a gun.
You definitely shouldn't have a gun. No. Say, do you know how cops are like slinkies? Turns out neither one of them are actually good for anything, but it sure puts a smile on your face when you push one down the stairs.
Can't fault me for honesty.
I don't mind you protesting.
Stay back.
Actually, he does.
You do actually mind me protesting. You wouldn't be talking to me about it. See how disingenuous you are?
No, I don't like you screaming profanities.
Mr. Jackson doesn't like me screaming profanities like the word fuck.
Here's
What if-
what's going to happen. We're going to have local
is the
police come out
saddest
here
part.
and
It's
arrest you.
always
No,
about
here's
profanity.
what's gonna happen. You're gonna shut the fuck up and drink a big fat glass of shut the fuck up, and you're gonna let us have our free speech moment. That's what's gonna happen.
We didn't have any issues when you walked in. You're the issue. You know that, right?
He's gonna have the local police come and arrest us. Okay, I'm your Huckleberry. You think I'm afraid of a pair of handcuffs, motherfucker? I've been arrested for my fuck cop sign 62 times. I'm still walking out free. I must be.
So, you know, we say things all the time that aren't true. It's called bluffing. You know, when you lie to get an edge that's not proper on somebody, you lie to steal something from somebody, that's not good lying. But sometimes it's okay to lie about how big your feathers really are and make them puff up even bigger, right? To protect yourself. So do not think for an instant that I am actually not afraid of a pair of handcuffs. I'm actually afraid of them. As many times as I've been arrested, every time I go to jail, I think, am I going to get out this time? Am I still going to be in jail next year? So far, nobody's left me in jail. But what if that day comes? What if they finally fabricate something on me and I go away forever? That could happen. They're trying to do it all the time. These new cases out of Denver and Lakewood have been, after the fact, arrest warrants. Not by officers present, not by people present, but by detectives at the major crime units. These are the people that analyze license plate readers to figure out where that vehicle was at certain times.
Are you still alive?
Yeah.
Do you know who Bank Guy is?
Who?
Bank Guy?
No.
So last year, he was filming outside of a prison in Itawamba County, Mississippi. Right? They arrested him. They charged him with all this bullshit. He was found guilty. He appealed, won the appeal, filed a federal lawsuit.
Oh, really?
I'm talking to him right now on Facebook, and he's just informed me that ever since he filed that lawsuit, he had to move out of Itawamba County because they're making his life hell.
Absolutely.
So I think Itawamba County needs a reminder of who the fuck they're dealing with.
Maybe we should call them and you know, sell them our psychic services.
And
advise them that in the near future the name of the county is going to be changing.
It might be to Bank Guy County.
Yeah.
I think the people might want to let them know about that.
We should call the residents to tell them of the upcoming name change.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think they'd love that down there. I've been through Itawamba County.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it bad?
It's you can hear the banjos all over the place.
Oh, so actually he probably should have left just for the cultural increase alone. Yeah, it was a good move.
It was a good move. It was a good move.
So no, don't think that these arrests don't put fear in your heart. Don't think that they won't trump shit up. Again, using their major crimes divisions to draft up multi-page arrest warrant affidavits for things as benign as flashlights. So every day I wake up and my thought is this my last day? More and more we see are now reports hostile to police, to carry guns. I've never been known to carry guns. What the fuck is wrong with you people? I carried a gun once on the gun range in the Navy as an E5, and I could not hit my target. And they qualified me because they didn't want me to come back. But it's in my police reports. Their cars have little red line blinking, warning, dangerous, mentally handicapped, hostile to police. Those are programming words so that the cops know them. They need to be on edge. They should be in fear for their lives. So the day is going to come. I know it. So when I say here, do you think I'm afraid of a pair of handcuffs, motherfucker? That's fluff. That's fluff, you guys. You should be afraid of a pair of handcuffs. If you're not being reasonable. What? Why are you analyzing my food in the middle of my live stream?
That's what's about cook the plastic.
Oh, I thought this was the channel Cook the Plastic. It's not Cook the Plastic?
No, because that's what happens.
Oops. There it. Oh, not that one. See, guys, Cook the Plastic. What? It was dark. I couldn't read the instructions.
I'm not the senator of the Robert Chase Show.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, let's hack into... I got some hackers. Let's hack into Cut the Plastic and change the title of his channel to Cook the Plastic. So back to a big fat glass of shut the fuck up. By the way, I remember the day when Tom Zebra commented on the video.
One of us is the expert on the word fuck, and you're not it. Local police, that's what's gonna happen.
We don't have any issue.
Just shut the fuck up.
Here we go.
I don't mind you protesting,
Stay back.
but
899, we're on the phone with...
You do actually mind me protesting. You wouldn't be talking to me about it. See how disingenuous you are?
you know, I don't like you screaming profanities.
Mr. Jackson doesn't like me screaming profanities like the word fuck.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have local police come out here and arrest you.
No, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna shut the fuck up and drink a big fat glass of shut the fuck up, and you're gonna let us have our free speech moment. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, so full disclosure here. I actually really wasn't so sure about that. They're calling more cops. It's Denver police. I actually did not believe that I was going to walk home that day. But, again, you can't always believe everything I say on the internet.
The issue is that you walked up. You're the issue. You know that, right?
He's gonna have the local police come and arrest us. Okay, I'm your Huckleberry. You think I'm afraid of a pair of handcuffs, motherfucker? I've been arrested for my fuck cop sign 62 times.
100
I'm still
now.
walking out free. I must be doing something right. One of us is the expert on the word fuck, and you're not it.
That's a true statement. That one was true, guys. That was the truth.
No, it's not true. It's not nice to threaten us with arrest. It's not nice to disrupt our free speech. That's not nice. It's especially not nice to do it with a fucking gun and a bunch of goons. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people.
Sorry, I was practicing my new musical instrument. I'm there with Adrian Brown, Janet Matson, and...
No, this is not out of control. This is perfectly in control. You see, that's your problem. Your brains aren't big enough to understand strategy.
Oh, that was a true one.
This is control. Maybe the crazed, unintelligent, disheveled street bum act is just an act. Did you think of that? Maybe that's part of the trap and you probably shouldn't fall into it today.
Or maybe it's just crazy. I don't know.
We do not consent to this show of force in an attempt to silence our speech. This is not the Taliban. This is not North Korea. You can keep your fascist diarrhea. You don't have to like our message.
You just have to tolerate it.
True statement.
You took an oath to tolerate this message.
True statement.
If you didn't want to get criticism from your employer, you should have chosen a different employer. Nothing stopped you from flipping burgers or sweeping streets. You chose that job. You took an oath to uphold the law, and silencing our speech is breaking the law. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
But they're not. They're not to this day. That's why I'm going to court for her death. He just got sorry.
He's allowed to be on that side of the property. That's public property.
Let me tell you a little something about public property. About civil rights lawsuits. You notice I don't fuck with federal property. There's no teeth. You cannot sue the state, and you cannot sue the federal government. You can only sue the individual. And that means all you can get out of it is what he has in the bank. And his lawyer gets that first. So be very, very careful. State agencies and federal agencies. Because you might be taking a big hit for nothing. That's always a risk. But be cautious, because you won't find a lot of help going against the feds. Not because they don't think it's right, not because they don't agree that you've been aggrieved, but because the lawyers have to pay their staff to feed their babies. And you can't get any money out of those cases. And if they don't get that contingency fund, they can't pay for litigation that's important, but maybe not as easy to win. So be very careful. So Adrian Brown's being told to leave this plaza. Does he have to leave that plaza? Nope, sure doesn't. If he can leave that plaza, yeah, sometimes you got to take the hit, man. Bummer. You know, he's on the sidewalk.
He doesn't have to go in. He can sit on that bench if he wants to. I don't think you understand what public property is. You don't need your fucking gloves, asshole. You can't charge him with trespassing for being on public property. What the fuck is wrong? Yes, it is public property. Who the fuck do you think owns it? Does China own it? I realize they own a lot of our shit, but...
Actually, they probably do.
Fuck, that's a fucking public plaza. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people. Did they take your brains out at the academy? Or do you have to have a whole career to fuck those off?
Actually, it turns out they have to be removed before they go to the academy. It's a prerequisite.
Public fucking property! You don't get to usurp people's rights because you don't like them! It's not how it works! It's not professional!
But you do if you have a magic badge. Bring magic badge.
And it's unintelligent and it's disingenuous! No justice! No peace! Fuck the police!
And so DPD arrives, and Fat Fucker Moore drives right up in the middle of my chalk.
I do not consent to Fat Fucker Moore being in the middle of my free speech area!
How you doing, Eric?
Fine, how are you, bud?
I'm just hanging in there.
You don't have the right to fuck up the free speech of the people! We're already here because you're fucking it up, and what do? You fuck it up even more! You're proving our need to do this!
Sure are.
We gave you your authority and we limited that power! And today, you are usurping that power, and we object! The harder the government tries to silence your message, the more powerful that message must be! Help! Call the police! I've been offended by a chalk message! Here's another one, Janet.
What did Judge Babcock do?
Judge Babcock doesn't particularly give a fuck about the little guy. He cares about the corporations in the states. And he'll dismiss claims.
Judge Babcock is a retired senior judge, and basically they bring
Does
him into
anybody
dismiss cases
find
they
it
don't want
odd that they have to send out 12 agents, most of them armed, for 4 people carrying signs that say, fuck Judge Babcock?
to do. If I recall the numbers correctly, there were 17 federal agents and 6 DPDs that I'd noticed, and they're everywhere. They're not necessarily right next to us.
Does anyone find that odd? I mean, is the pen really mightier than the sword? Apparently it is.
A lot of guns here.
What is this, like $500 an hour here?
Probably
For
more than that.
Christ's sakes, it's just a forged fuck.
You think you can do just anything you want?
And people think I'm crazy? I mean, come on, throw me a bone here. Excuse me, officer, I'm concerned for your safety standing in the roadway.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was going home yesterday.
Happy Fuck the Cops Day!
Can you believe it? So that's the Alfred J. Raj Federal Courthouse, which is where we will be tomorrow and for the next 3 days. So, oh, wait, did I? Oh, I didn't switch the camera back, damn it. Oops. Hi. So, I'm going to bed, and I'm getting up early. Oh, Frank Churchill's in here. I'll be goddamned. There he is. Yes, I got your emails. And we'll get that done. So, we've been doing a lot of work here. We've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work. And for anybody who is curious or concerned, I will tell you that Otto and the Watch Pups are safe. We know where they are. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now. So you'll get more about that later. But they're not here. And they're not in Rockwall. And they are safe. So I know you haven't seen anything from Otto. We haven't been saying anything about it. There's a reason. It'll all come out in the near future. So look for some updates tomorrow. I will probably be dressed a little better than this. So make sure you avert your eyes from the screen so you don't get damaged by me being dressed up. So where's Rusty Root? Oh, this is Piggy. It's going to come downtown with me too. And I'll probably be asleep before you are. Good night.